What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we're going to be talking about a knife that I've been waiting on for a while. It is finally here. This is the Spyderco Amalgam. Stay tuned. Welcome back, friends. Today we're going to be talking about this guy, the Spyderco Amalgam. And I've been waiting on this knife for a little bit. Kind of give you a story on why I purchased it sooner rather than later. I've been sitting around thinking, oh gosh, like what knife do I want next? I'm a big Spyderco fan, you guys know that. And I started looking at the Amalgam, and I was like, I like big knives. That looks really cool. And I was like, that's probably going to be the one I buy next. So I'm a part of a Spyderco Facebook group. Somebody had posted one of these guys, a little funny picture with a little googly eye on it and a little like a lipstick smiley face and whatnot, and the caption was, "Why so serious?" off of Batman. So I thought it was a funny pic. I liked it and I commented, and then the person that wrote that comment basically replied to it and said, hey, it's a nice knife, I hope you enjoy it, blah blah blah. And I was talking to the actual designer of the knife on this Facebook comment page, Brian Lai. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like the Brian Lai? Like the designer of the knife, Brian Lai? And it was. We had some conversation, I'm from one knife guy to another. He found out, I mentioned that I had a YouTube channel. And he subscribed to my YouTube channel. I was just like ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh, the knife designer of the Amalgam has just subscribed to my channel. So anyway, it was a great story, and of course I took that as a sign, and so I bought the knife like the same day. But of course our US Postal Service right now is, well, they've always been crap. But anyway, it's finally here. This is going to be the overview of the Spyderco Amalgam, and first impressions. I've actually had this since, I guess, yesterday, and so I played with it yesterday, been playing with it today. And spoiler alert, I love it. It's a great knife. You guys know I like big knives, and this one is big. And boy, do I love it. This is a Taichung Taiwan Spyderco. And before we go over kind of everything about the knife, we'll go ahead and do some size comparisons so you guys can see how big this knife is. We're going to do mostly Spyderco comparisons on this one. Here it is against the PM2. You can see it dwarfs the PM2. And here it is against one of my other larger Spyderco knives, one that I absolutely love, Spyderco Shaman. And you can see it dwarfs the Shaman. That's awesome. And here's the Manix 2, another bigger work knife from Spyderco. Dwarfs it. What about another one? The Spyderco Manix 2 XL. Look at that. So, in other words, it's a big knife. If you don't like big knives, you might not like it. Here, we'll throw a Benchmade in there just for, here's a griptilian, that way, because everybody knows about what the griptilian looks like. So, but anyway, big knife, but so comfortable in the hand. Like I said, this is a Taichung Taiwan produced Spyderco. That facility does an awesome job. Fit and finish on this thing is great. This one does have the carbon fiber laminate over G10, and it's much like another knife you've seen on the channel, the Smock, and they feel really similar. So I mean, it's not exactly the grippiest thing in the world, but it does have grip, unlike real carbon fiber, what is really slick. So this does give you some grip. And they do a really good job. It looks pretty daggum close. It's about the same. So maybe just a little bit longer on this one. So anyway, it's also, as you can see, a flipper knife. I love flippers, but my main way to deploy this knife is, I failed at that, is the Spidey flick. I Spidey flick all my Spyderco knives. It's just the thing that I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. But this one does have a flipper, and it does a pretty good job. Now, it's the D10 on it is kind of light, so you can fail at it when you flip it. But as long as you do it with meaning, it's going to come out there. a lot of people have reviewed this knife and has complained about one thing, which is because it has a flipper, you can see that that flipper tab, when you disengage it, comes right in the path of where your finger is to hit the compression lock. A lot of people complained about that. Well, I'm not one of them. If you're familiar with the Shaman, man, I keep Nick Shabazz, man, I tell you. The Shaman, it has a similar, not an issue, it's not really an issue, but it does come back, and then that little finger troll area comes back and can hit your finger. So I've had this knife for a little while, and so when I disengage this lock, I disengage it, fling it shut, and I can usually get it to close and get my finger out of the way. It's not a big deal. I'm not sure why people are saying it's a big deal. Matter of fact, I like just playing with my knives, and so it makes me happy to be able to, not to have every knife the same for me. It's just one of those deals. The blade shape on this guy, oh, I love it. You got your drop point, a little bit of belly there, long, flat. This is an CPM S30V, which is a great steel. There's Brian Lai's mark on it, which I think is awesome. I really, really just enjoy this knife. Haven't had to put it to a lot of use yet, but Taichung does such a great job. This thing comes super sharp. I mean, slicey, oh man, it's just great. I have cut a lot of paper with it and packages and stuff at work and stuff since I've had it these last few days, because that's just what I do. And holy moly, does this thing cut. Now, I actually didn't measure this one behind the edge, but I want to say that the last reviewer that did this knife that I saw was around 22 thousandths, maybe a little bit more, which is not the thinnest behind the edge, but still not bad. Full flat grind on this blade, which I love full flat grinds, which is another reason I'm a huge Spyderco fan. So now that we've kind of seen it against other knives as far as length, the overall length on this one is right under 9 inches long, so it's a big one. The blade length is about 3.8, and then the cutting edge is about 3.4, so a little under 3.5. You have the blade width, which is about 1 inch, 125, this way. So not super tall. You can kind of tell because of where the spotty hole is placed, which I love that. You can tell where the spotty hole is placed. It's just doesn't stick up like the PM2 does. So, and it's super, matter of fact, the PM2 is so easy to finger flick, but this one is as well. It's like in the perfect spot for my hands, which I have, bigger hands and stuff, but the way I hold this knife, it's just right there, and I can just spider flick this thing all day. It makes me happy. Let's see, I think the blade thickness is about 1.8, I believe, on the thickest edge there. So it's a little bit thicker than something like the PM2. Actually, let's put that side by side. So just a little bit thicker than the PM2. So, PM2 is going to be just a little bit slicier maybe, but this thing does such a great job. I'm telling you, the edge they put on this was great. Excuse me. Oh, Corona. Just kidding, guys. I don't have Corona. So anyways, Brian, if you are watching, I did order googly eyes for this thing, and they did not come in. So I was gonna do a shout out to you with the googly eye picture of my amalgam, but they did not come in, and I was so excited. I had to get this overview out there because I'm in love with this knife. It's just wonderful. I'm gonna be carrying this all next week, and we are going to be putting it to the test. You guys can see it has the standard Spyderco pocket clip, so it does stick out about this much in your pocket. And you guys also know, if you watch my videos, I'm not really one that really cares about deep carry because I like to have something to grab onto. But you can totally put a deep carry pocket clip on this thing. It is tip up right or left hand only. You can't carry this tip down, but why would you want to? And like I said, the fact that I can deploy this 2 different ways just makes me so happy. I love big knives. This one is, whenever you're talking about big knives, let's see, I got another big knife. This is another one that I have. Come on. There's the Benchmade Crooked River. And, I mean, so it's a beast. And I love it. Let's look and see, just because it is so big, let's see how much it weighs. And, because it will surprise you. Oh, and I didn't mention that this is running on bearings. So it's not phosphor bronze washers. And that's something I can take or leave because I love phosphor bronze washers. Because it's less maintenance than bearings, but the bearings on this thing makes it silky, silky smooth. And so I love the fact that they did that with this model. 4.3 ounces. I mean, come on, for a 9-inch knife, you can't beat that. That's great. You can see it's got full steel liners that are embedded into the scales, and then of course you can see the holes there milled out to save on weight. So Spyderco did a great job with this. Give you a little background story on Brian Lai. He is not a well-known knife designer. This guy was a college student. He likes knives. He designed this thing. He made a prototype in college, sent it to Spyderco, and they liked it so much, they picked it up and they made this knife. I think that is such a cool story. I mean, just think, in college, and you're like, yeah, I got an idea. And then some company like Spyderco picks it up and runs with it and does such a great job of manufacturing this thing. It's got your finger choil there. They did just awesome. Brian Lai is an awesome guy. I have talked to him on Facebook. And super nice guy, super involved in the community. He wants people to like his knives. He wants honest feedback. And he's just outstanding. So go ahead and check him out. This is the Spyderco Facebook page. So go ahead and click on that as well. I'll see if I can't put a link in the description for that. A lot of great people on this Facebook page talking about Spydercos, and it's just a lot of fun if you're a knife guy. But as far as the overview of this knife, that's about it. I will be carrying this next week and putting it through its paces. See that my big ham hands have gotten plenty of room on this guy. I could choke up, get some really good precision cuts. Hold it back here. I mean, I've got plenty of room if I want to do anything with this knife, and that's why I like big knives, guys. I mean, you could just do so much. I mean, this thing comes super sharp. I could whittle with this thing. So, anyways, if you have any questions on this knife, leave a comment down below. If you guys have an amalgam, leave a comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Stay tuned on the channel if you like this particular kind of content. I've got a lot more reviews coming. And I know I've been talking about the EDC subscription box. It has not come in yet. The COVID-19 has just kind of made things crazy and behind. But hopefully we'll receive that next week and we'll open that together. And you guys stay safe, and we will see you in the next one.